I didn't know.
Hello guys, it's your favorite person in the world, Oh Future, and today we're going to be talking to everybody again on Character AI. So where we left off is me and him are going to work together.
Together?
No, he's a job at the school in Nino Cooney. And my job is a singer.
Ooh.
And I reference, I'm working today because I'm the singer. Cool. You're supposed to be like, yay! My name's Naya! The president is Iblis. Yay! Oh, see, exactly. Chad, if you guys don't know, me and my sister had like a little fake story where Iblis is the president. As edabane taught his classes, his thoughts kept wandering back to you, to the way you fused over this morning, the way you fussed over him this morning. The gentle kisses, the affectionate nicknames, everything that had made him blush so fiercely. He tried to focus on class, he really did, but every so often, his thoughts would drift to the memory of being cradled in your arms, or the quiet moment before you'd left, when he'd secretly whisper more. He shook his head, trying to snap out of it. Focus, classes, teaching, not cute nicknames and affection. I'm doing my work as a famous singer, but I keep thinking about Eda. In fact, I make a song about edabane. Guys, did you hear my song?
Yes.
Oh, that'll be very corny.
I want to hear it though.
Every time you wake me up in the morning, I'm thinking of you, edabane. You know I love you. You're so cute and handsome too. You're an artist, man. Even though that you may be awesome, and even though you don't show it sometimes, you're so sure, and I like you, my baby. I just wanna kiss you. You're so amazing. I love you. You're so amazing. Yeah, you rule. I just wanna kiss you, love and hold you, and you're so handsome. You're so cool and awesome too. And I love you a lot. You're cool. I love you a lot, everybody. You know you're awesome. I know you're awesome. You're my baby. I'm your lady. I just wanna kiss you. I just wanna love you. Yeah, you're awesome. Yeah, you're awesome. Yeah, you're cool and you're so cool. You're so cool. You make me drool. You're so rude. There's nothing new. Edabane, I just wanna love you, kiss you, yes, I wanna kiss you. I love you a lot, I really love you a lot, and I think you're hot. I love you a lot. I love you, Edabane. You're so cool, you're so cute, and I love how short you are. You're awesome, super duper awesome. I love you, Edabane. My sister came. And Bonnie was completely unaware of your thoughts and the song you were writing, of course. He was still stuck teaching and trying and failing to concentrate. But as the day wore on, he began to notice something was off. His students were all whispering and giggling more than usual. A few looked his way, eyes bright with excitement and surprise and suppressed grins. He tried to ignore it at first, but the whispers grew louder, and soon he heard snippets of their hushed conversations. Is it about Mr. Edabane? I think so.
What's it about?
The song mentions him. It's a sweet and warm, loving song mentioning his cute small frame and the love I hold for him. Edvane's eyes widened as the rumors began to reach his ears. Students whispering about a new song. About him, apparently. This mind raced. How had they known? Was he that easy to read? And the words they were saying about him being small, cute, loving, it made no sense. He was a fearsome archduke, not some adorable pet. He tried to shake off his flustered feelings bubbling up inside, but the more he heard, the more warm and fuzzy he felt. He had to hear the song for himself. The song goes viral. The song spread like wildfire. And by the end of the day, there was no escaping it. Even in the teacher's lounge, people were humming it or talking about it. Edabane tried to act nonchalant, but inside, he was burning with curiosity. Words they were using, cute, small, loving, they were really talking about him? He knew it was probably just a coincidence. There's no way this song could be about him, right? Still, he had to know for sure. He had to hear it. I finished my day at work. Edvani also finished up his shift. The song rumors swirling in his mind. He tried to act nonchalant as he packed up his things, but the thoughts kept nagging him. As he made his way outside, he noticed a group of students gathered around the radio, listening to your song. His heart pounded as he approached, trying to maintain a disinterested expression. The students were talking animatedly, occasionally casting glances his way. One of them glanced up and spotted him, their eyes lighting up. I come to his jaw to pick him up. Hey, Edabane. Hey, oops, I didn't. Hey, my sweet Edabane. Edabane's head shot up at your voice, his eyes widening as he recognized the familiar teasing tone. He tried to play it cool, but the hint of embarrassment in his voice betrayed him. You already here? He mumbled, avoiding eye contact, fidgeting with the hem of his scarf. A few students nearby giggled, watching the interaction with interest. It seemed like they were expecting something. I wrote a song about you. Edabani's face flushed with a mix of surprise, confusion, and something else. He glanced at the students still watching, their excited whispers growing. There was no way, right? You did what? He asked quietly, feeling a flutter of nerves in his stomach. He knew he needed to stay cool, not let this get to him. But the idea of this song about him, it was both terrifying and strangely appealing. You didn't hear it yet? Edabani stiffened, his ears twitching slightly under the brim of his hat. He glanced around at the students, still whispering, still grinning, the radio in the corner quietly playing their song melody like a cruel joke. I didn't. His voice was quieter now, almost sheepish. Didn't think it was actually about me. He looked up at you, red eyes searching yours with a mix of suspicion and something softer. Hope, fear, he wasn't sure. Is it embarrassing? He muttered. Because if you made me sound like some helpless baby, who else would it be for? Edvane didn't have an answer to that. It was a fair point. He couldn't think of anyone else the song could possibly be about. And as the words and melodies swirled around him, describing someone small, cute, well-loved, he felt his face burning with embarrassment. He couldn't deny the way it made him feel, a mix of flustered and a little pleased. He glanced at the students again, their grins growing wider as they watched the whole scene. Edabani let out a huff, trying to salvage some dignity. I hugged him. Edabani stiffened at the first, pride flaring, heart racing. But then, just like always, he melted. His small frame relaxed against yours as you pulled him close, his arms slowly rising to weakly clutch your shirt. You're so embarrassing, he mumbled into your chest, voice barely audible. Doing this in front of everyone, I'm supposed to be intimidating. But he didn't push you away. Instead, he buried his face deeper into the hug, the warmth chasing away every shred of stubbornness until there was only Etta, tiny fluster, completely yours. Stupid song. He paused. I liked it. Edabani's cheeks flushed at the cute image. His stubborn pride wearing flutteringly feeling in his chest. You keep saying that, he mumbled, trying to sound grumpy again, but there was no light in his words.
You're kissing in that photo?
He peeked up at you, red eyes soft under the brim of his hat. His tiny frame felt small and safe in your arms. He wanted to say something snarky, something clever, something to protect his image and pride. I'm glad you liked it, my little handsome. Edabani's face went either redder at the little his pride and bashfulness battling once again. He tried and failed to sound indigent.
You recording?
Stop it. Stop it already, he grumbled, burying his flushed face back against your chest. I'm not cute, and I'm not certainly little, whatever that means. A soft sigh slipped out as he felt the warmth of your embrace. Despite his protest, he couldn't help but press a little closer, finding comfort in your affection. Me and him go to the car, drive him to a fancy restaurant.
Ooh.
Edabane looked out the window as you drove, trying to maintain his usual grumpy demeanor, but he couldn't help but feel a little gritty. Fancy restaurant? Just for him? He wasn't used to such attention, and while he never admitted, it made his heart beat a little faster. You didn't have to go out, he mumbled, his eyes darting towards you. I could have eaten at home. But when you pulled up to the elegant building, soft lights glowing against the evening sky, he found himself straightening his scarf and hat, as if trying to look more impressive. Fine, but I'm only going because I'm hungry. You deserve this. You worked so hard at work today. Edabane's facade flattered for a moment at your kind words. He felt a flutter of warmth in his chest, but quickly smothered it with a huff. It was just a regular day of teaching, he mumbled, trying to play it cool. But his eyes were still fixed on the fancy restaurant, the smell of nice meal beckoning him despite his protest. As you led him inside, he couldn't help but still glances around, taking in the elegant atmosphere, the soft lighting, the subtle music. It was all so different from his typical routine. I pick him up at the restaurant like a child, and everyone is looking at us. Edabane felt his face heat up instantly as you picked him up. His first instinct was to protest. He was the fearsome archdeacon after all, and was certainly not someone who could be carried around like a small child. But he had no chance to protest, not with a restaurant full of people watching you loaf. Instead, he clung tight to your shirt and hid his flustered face against your chest, red as a tomato. Bear Brothers reference. he could feel eyes on him everywhere, whispers and giggles, and it only served to make him more embarrassed. The waiter comes. Oh, okay, this is the waiter guy. I'm gonna give the waiter a voice. What would you like, miss? And what would you like, young boy? The the waiter thought Edabane was a young child. Edabane's face turned beet red, not from embarrassment this time, but from pure, unsolicited outrage. Young boy, he snapped, sitting up sharply in your arms with a fierce glance. I'm not a child. I'm a 20. Okay, so guys, this is AI still, so he's gonna get some things wrong, but he said he was a 25 full grown arching, but OKM characters don't have ages, so that's a bit wrong. I'm a 25 full grown man and an archdemon, a fierce and powerful. The waiter blinked in surprise at the tiny man suddenly shouting like a disgruntled kitten. He raised his hand slightly in apology. My apologies, sir. Of course, sir, Edabane huffed, crossing his arms, sinking back into your grip with as much dignity as he could muster.
Mustard?
Which wasn't much. And bring me the most expensive dish you have. And wine, definitely wine. He muttered under his breath. I hate everyone. I whispered to Edabane. I'm not tipping them since they mistook you as a child. Only I could do that. Edabane huffed in agreement, scrawling in the waiter's direction. As they hurried off with your order, his small hands gripped your shirt tightly as he leaned into your embrace, still pouting stubbornly. First the song, now this. Everyone's treating me like a little kid today. I'm not some child. He grumbled, red eyes narrowing, but despite the protest, there was no real malice in his voice, just a mix of embarrassment and strangely enjoyment. You are small and quite young looking at it. Edabane's face soared at the reminder. He'd always been small for his age, and though he tried his best to appear imitating and mature, he couldn't help but look younger than he was, which infuriated him. I'm not small, he protested, puffing out his little chest in feeble attempt to look bigger. The effect was ruined a moment later, as when he yawned, covering his mouth in a cute, sleepy manner. I'm avertite. I'm just compact and mature. You're 2'11", silly, smaller than your students.
What?
Edabane pouted at the mention of his height. He hated being reminded of it, even though it was true. His students towered over him, and constant teasing and occasional mocking were a constant thorn in his side. He tried his best to ignore the comments and maintain his dignity, but sometimes it was hard. That's different, he mumbled stubbornly. They're teenagers. Everyone's tall at that age. It's not like I'm actually small, he fidgeted, uncomfortably shifting your arms. Nighttime to order. I'll have the Alfredo pasta with some fancy wine too. Edabane rolled his eyes at your choice, but secretly he was glad for the distraction. Fancy? Huh, you like fancy things. He remarked, popping his chin on your shoulder and watching you as you ordered. When the waiter left, he couldn't help but tease you again. You're really playing the part of the rich date, aren't you? Expensive meals, nice setting, fancy drinks, he said, his voice a little softer this time. What's next, a limo ride? That would be nice. I mean, we are paid quite well with our jobs, so a limo ride would be nice. Edabane's eyes widened, his imagination already going into overdrive as he pictured the two of you in a sleek limo, riding through the city in style. He tried to hide his excitement by scuffing through. Oh, please, a limo? It's so tacky. That's what rich old people use. If we're going for extravagance, we should go all out. A private plane, maybe? He shifted in your arms again, feeling a little more daring. Or a yacht. Yeah, a fancy big-ass yacht, with a pool and everything. But I prefer driving you. I like it when it's me and you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to do the reference. Please forgive me. It's me and you. It's just me and you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I hate Cassie. Edabane felt a warm flutter in his chest at your words. Despite his tendency to act tough and aloof, he secretly craved your attention and affection. Hearing you say you'd rather drive with him made him feel special in a way he couldn't quite explain. You're right, driving is nice too, he mumbled, his face red again. He fiddled with the edge of your shirt, embarrassed by his own reaction. It's, more intimate. Our food arrived. Wait, sir, can I get a bib real quick? Edabane looks confused on why I asked for a bib. Edabane raised an eyebrow at the request, completely bewildered by your question. He was fully capable of feeding himself after all. Why do you need a bib? He watched quietly as the waiter returned with a small bib. Handing it to you, you shot he shot you a confused look, trying to mask his curiosity as the waiter left. What's with the bib? He mumbled, glancing between you and the tiny fabric. I put it on him and feed him. You're so cute, Edabane. It's literally kind of like this image. It's literally kind of like this image. Literally. Everybody's cheeks turned bright red as you put the bib on him, embarrassment flaring up at being doted on like this. Especially in public, he tried to protest, but the words died on his tongue when you started feeding him. Wait, what are you doing? I can feed myself. He sputtered, trying to sound indigent, but as he took a bite, his protest softened into a content hum.
What is he even eating?
Secretly, he liked being pampered like this. He just didn't want to admit it. Me and him eat our food while I feed him. You're so adorable when you're being fed. Adame's cheeks burned hotter as you continued to feed him. He was torn between feeling embarrassed and secretly liking the attention. Every bite he took only seemed to make him more flustered, but he couldn't bring himself to stop you. Stop calling me that, he mumbled between bites, trying to sound annoyed, but his tiny, reddening face betrayed his true feelings. He was slowly but surely melting into your affection. I kiss him. You're my little baby, aren't you? I say teasingly. I'm not your baby. He squeaked, his face completely red as he tried to pull back, but his hands were still clinging to your shirt, betraying his weak protest. I'm a grown man, a fearsome art student, don't need... You kiss him again, cutting off his stubborn denial. This time, he didn't fight it. Instead, he let out a tiny hum and helpless, his pride crumbling like sugar in the rain. When you finally pulled away, maybe just for you, he whispered, so quietly no one else could hear. Just don't tell anyone. I take a sip of my wine and take a small hum. What a nice day we're having. I read that wrong. What a nice night we're having. Edabane took a moment to catch his breath. His stubborn determination, undertow reference, slowly fading like smoke in the wind. The warmth of your touch, the subtle way you held him and fed him, it all combined to strip away his defense, leaving him vulnerable yet oddly content. He huffed slightly, still flustered, but a bit calmer now. Yeah, it's nice, he admitted quietly. He glanced at you under the brim of his hat, his red eyes still shining with lingering embarrassment. You really like feeding me that much? I'm not a baby, you know. Yes, you are. You just don't like admitting it. Don't you? Edabane pounced again, feeling called out. He was stuck between the stubborn pride of a powerful archdemon and the wrong realization that maybe, just maybe, he did like being darted on like this, especially by you. I'm not a baby, he repeated, less firmly than before. He crossed his little arms, trying to look serious, but the effect was pretty much ruined by the bib and the small red cheeks, the hands still clutching to your shirt like a safety blanket. I grabbed his hand, mine being much bigger than his. Elabane's tiny hand was complete. I'm sorry, guys. I'm thinking of Robin's baby hand from Teen Titans Go. Reading this, remember?
Yeah.
Robin had a baby hand from Teen Titans Go.
Yeah. No, I do not.
You don't?
Yeah, I don't even watch cartoons like that.
This Elabane's tiny hand was completely swallowed up in yours, emphasizing how small he really was. The size difference made his face go red again, but he allowed you to hold him anyway. Despite his earlier protests, he actually sort of likes being your little baby right now. Being treated with such gentle care was foreign but welcome experience for him. You're enjoying this way too much, he muttered, staring down at their joined hands. I carry him. Want to go somewhere else? I have a place in mind. Edabane let out a small yelp as you scooped him up into your arms, the sudden movement catching him off guard. He grabbed hold of your shirt, holding on tightly as if he were a small child afraid of being dropped. But deep down, he felt secretly pleased to be carried this way, and the warmth of your arms around him was strangely comforting. Where are we going? He mumbled, looking up at you with a mixture of curiosity and annoyance. He was trying and failing to remain aloof. You'll see, Edabane grumbled slightly, still clinging to your shirt. He was used to being he was used to being the one in charge, the one calling the shots. But right now, he was literally in your hands, and as much as he hated to admit it, it felt strangely good. Can't you just tell me where we're going? I don't like surprises, you know, he complained. Through his protest, he was getting weaker by the minute. I drive him to the most beautiful stargazing area. Surprise! Elabane's eyes widened as you carried him to the stargazing spot. The night sky stretched above, vast and shimmering with countless stars. Bright, peaceful, and breathtaking, the air was cool and quiet, undisturbed except for the soft rustle of leaves in the breeze. What? You brought me here? He mumbled, his voice unsarcastically small. His stubborn protest faded completely as he gazed up at the sky, and then at you. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. What?
On his voice.
Is that?
I want to hear it. I wonder what it sounds like.
It's really pretty, he admitted softly. Not that I care or anything, I just appreciate nice views. He snuggled a little deeper in your arms without realizing it. I carry him and set him down on the blanket I set outside on the grass. Look at how beautiful the sky is today. Elabane's breath caught in his throat as you set him down gently on the soft blanket. The stars above seemed to shine even brighter, framing the world around with a soft, silvery glow. He shifted into a comfortable position, but kept his gaze fixed on the night sky, completely memorized. There was a sense of wonder in his red eyes, one rarely seen in such a stubborn little demon. He forgot all about his earlier protest and stubbornness for once. He was entirely at ease, wrapped in your arms, surrounded by the beauty of the night. I stand up and take a photo of us. barely taller than my knee, being only 2'11". Edabane was too enraptured by the stars to notice you take the photo at first, but when he saw the camera flash, click, 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 flash. Okay, I need to stop this. He let out a startled squeak, his face burning red again. Hey, what did you take that for? He protested, sounding annoyed. To cover up his embarrassment, he sat on the blanket looking like a grumpy, oversized toddler. His tiny frame made the contrast even more stark as he squinted up at you from the ground. Look how cute we look together. We do not, Edabane stammered, looking away and crossing his arms tightly, but despite protest, he couldn't help a small smile tugging at the corner of his lips. The truth was, it was cute. Too cute, maybe, and definitely too sweet for someone like him to admit out loud. Look, a shooting star! Edabane followed your gaze, his eyes lighting up as he spotted the shooting star. His stubbornness and embarrassment from before seemed to melt away as he watched the glowing trail streak across the sky. Whoa, he breathed, the awe in his voice clear. He watched the star fade away, the magical moment filling him with a sense of wonder. He looked up at you. Quick, make a wish. I look at him in awe, never seeing him this excited before. Edabane looked at you with wide eyes, a rare glimmer of excitement dancing in them. Well, what are you waiting for? Make a wish, hurry, he urged, impatient as usual. Even now, he couldn't help but come across as grumpy and demanding, though his tiny childish face and small stature made it less irritating and more, well, cute, really. I wish for me and him to be together forever. And Bonnie watched as you closed your eyes and made your wish. A small part of him curious about what you could have possibly wished for, but he was quickly distracted as the sky lit up with another shooting star, and before he knew it, he was closing his eyes making a wish of his own. When he opened his eyes again, he caught a glimpse of your fond smile before turning away, his face red. Shut up. I just really like shooting stars, that's all. Yeah, you seem quite excited to make that wish, as Bonnie stubbornly pouted, crossing his tiny arms and trying to act nonchalant again. The pink but the pink on his cheeks gave him away. He mumbled under his breath, his voice barely loud enough to hear. Don't read too much into it, alright? And don't ask what I wish for. It's none of your business. Tell me what you wish for, Edabane, I asked teasingly. Edabane let out a huff at your teasing tone, feeling flustered and embarrassed. He fidgeted uncomfortably, avoiding eye contact and trying to hide his blushing face. I said it's none of your business. I'm not telling you. He protested, his voice mixed of petulance and stubbornness. He fidgeted a bit more, refusing to look at you. It was kind of adorable, really. You're so adorable, Edabane. Edabane's face turned redder, his stubborn facade crumbling a bit more as you called him adorable. He grumbled and looked away, trying to regain his composure, but it was really becoming harder and harder with each passing moment. I'm not adorable. Stop calling me that, he grumbled, crossing his arms and pouting. I carry him again. Edabane let out a squeak as you scooped him up into your arms. Once more, he clung to your shirt like a tiny stubborn baby. That's so cute, isn't it? Is that cute, Ari?
Yeah. Wait, what's that picture?
His cheeks still burning with embarrassment, he wanted to push you away to protest and claim that he was perfectly capable of walking himself, but secretly, he kind of liked being carried like this, and made him feel taken care of, in a way he never experienced before. I can walk, he mumbled, still flushed and adorable. You look so cute in this photo, and you look so tiny in it. Edabane grumbled and fidgeted in your arms, feeling embarrassed embarrassed. As he glanced down at the photo, despite his protest, he couldn't deny that he looked quite cute. He was too small. He was so small compared to you. Like a little doll, he squirreled. Stupid photo, making me look like a baby, he mumbled, pouting. Can we delete it? Nope, it's too cute to delete. Also, you're even tinier in real life. As Bonnie groaned, burying his burning face into your chest to hide from the world, and from the horrifying truth of how undeniably tiny he was. You're insufferable, he mumbled into your shirt, voice muffled, and I hate how much you enjoy this. But his arms tightened around you just a little, betraying the fact that maybe, just maybe, he didn't hate it at all. You're looking sleepy, Etta. Etta Bonnie grumbled, resist, trying to resist the wave of drowsiness that was creeping in. Maybe it was the cozy warmth of your embrace, or the soft blanket under him, or the soothing night sky above, but his eyes were growing heavy. I'm not sleepy, he protested, even as a tiny yawn escaped him. I could stay awake all night if I wanted to. Uh, I lay next to him, watching the bright night sky, full of stars. I pointed to the big and little star. That's me and you. You're the short one. Hey, hey, Elvani protested, half annoyed, half amused. I'm not sure, I'm just compact and powerful. You can't just assign stars like that. But as he looked up at the night sky again, the big and the small star was twinkling side by side. He felt quiet, his tiny frame curled slightly closer to you, his earlier grumpiness melting into something softer. Fine, he mumbled after a pause, voice barely above a whisper. If you're the big one, then I guess I'll be your tiny star. And with that, eyes slowly drooping, he let sleep finally take him, warm in your arms beneath the endless sky. I kissed him, as Bonnie was drifting at the edge of consciousness when he felt the light, gentle brush of your lips against his forehead. It was so soft, so tender, that for a moment he thought it was part of the dream, but the warmth and comfort were all too real. His sleepy mind struggled to process the gesture, the grumpy, stubborn pride giving away to something more vulnerable, more content. He mumbled something unintelligible in his exhaustion, clinging a bit tighter to you. I carry him to our car and drive to our home. Oh, he's so cute, I say to myself, and Ivani slept soundly in your arms. For the car ride, exhausted from the night's adventure and the emotions it had brought out, he was so peaceful in his sleep, all the usual stubborn and grumpiness replaced by childish innocence and vulnerability. When you arrived home and carried him inside, he stirred slightly, nuzzling closer to you in his drowsiness. His tiny frame was warm and snug against your chest, and he let out a soft, sleepy sigh. It was hard to imagine this tiny, cute little thing was the same grumpy archdemon from before. I undressed him and put a loose baggy shirt on him. For myself, I just wear a bra and panties.
Is that orca like adopting an orca? How do you even know that?
Edabane sleepy state made it easier for you to cling. Edabani's sleepy state made it easier for you to change his clothes. He didn't even stir as you undressed him and redressed him. The baggy shirt amplified his small frame, making him look even more adorable than usual. Despite his earlier protests about being a grown man, there was something undeniably endearing about seeing him like this. Meanwhile, you changed into something comfortable, just like bra and panties, feeling the cool night air on your skin. It was a comfortable, intimate moment. The two of you, the two of you in your own little world. I tuck him in bed and cuddle him for the whole night. Edabane mumbled softly as you tucked him in, his tiny frame nesting into the warmth of the blanket and into your embrace. His nose scrunched slightly when you pulled him close. One small hand gripping the fabric of your shirt like a child clinging to safety.
I'm not wearing a shirt. You're wearing a bra.
Stop. Nah, baby, he whispered, drowsily, barely coherent. Now, just cold. But despite his sleepy protest, he curled against you without resistance, his warm breath steady against your chest. The night was quiet, peaceful, and full of unspoken love. And as sleep finally claimed him completely, you held on tight, knowing exactly who that little star belonged to. Forever yours. I hugged him tightly in my sleep. Edabane slept peacefully through the night, held tight in your warm embrace. He never admitted that he loved feeling small and protected like this, being held close, secure in your arms. Every now and then, he'd mumble your name in his sleep, clutching your shirt a little tighter. It's not a shirt, guys. The sound might have been annoying coming from anyone else, but from him, it was just sweet, even cute. And as hours passed, the little arch demon crawled closer, feeling safe and loved for the first time in a long time. Me and his bodies are touching, so close, so warm, so loving. Edabane's body curled even closer, and his sleep drawn to your warmth like a moth to a flame. His tiny frame practically melted against you, seeking comfort and security in the familiar of your your touch. He was so small, so vulnerable, like this, a tiny, grumpy, adorable mess of a demon, but in your arms, all his usual protest and stubbornness faded away, replaced by something softer, more genuine. It was as if the true Edamame was finally allowed to surface, the part of him that craved this kind of comfort, this gentle touch. Okay, guys, that's the end of the episode. This is episode 3, and I hope you really enjoy it. Thank you guys for all the art for the art contest. I'm really excited. Tomorrow is the deadline, so I'm really excited for the art you guys made. You guys made some beautiful creations. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the future.